Behind the cape. Let's talk about some Marvel rumors, some MCU rumors. First thing I think we should probably discuss is the fact that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania earned $32.2 million in the second domestic weekend, a 69% drop.
How much did they make? How much? You said 32?
$32.2 million.
Jesus Christ.
69% drop. Any thoughts?
Let me tell you who this is embarrassing for. For me, it's not even Marvel. It's not even Disney. The Access Media, who fawn over the opening weekend numbers and then like act like the movie's not even still in theaters the second weekend when it drops by 70%. Yeah. It's all of you who try to smack back fan criticism or what you deem as like fanboy hate in the first week when you feel like you have enough to go off of to praise the company that you suck the teat of. You come out and you talk with a lot of bravado. Oh, man, largest MCU opening, blah, blah, blah. You always try to find a way to slap another filter on it to make it the biggest and best.
Yes.
Right? Every movie has that. Literally, every movie talks about being the best with some sort of caveat added to it to make it the best. And then it drops 65 to 70% the second weekend, and nobody's talking about it anymore. Why?
Fair. I feel like Black Panther got that a lot more than Ant-Man did.
Oh, sure. But here's the reason why. One of the reasons why they're saying now the CGI was so off in Ant-Man was because, and there was literally an insider, one of the contractors who was working on the CGI who came out and said this, that one of the reasons why things kind of felt lackluster or overly CGI'd in Ant-Man is because they pulled resources from that movie for Wakanda Forever. Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't just marketing fund. They were actually bringing resources, tangible manpower away from other projects to prop up what they were trying to do in Wakanda Forever, which makes it even that much of a disappointment that movie didn't even cross 900 million. For Ant-Man and the Wasp, I kind of feel for this movie, man, and here's why. Like we've already put out the review. You know the problems that I have with the writing and amongst other things. But the kind of sad thing about this movie is that this is really like an Iron Man 2, Age of Ultron. This is really like just a kind of like okay movie that should be able to thrive within the greater MCU. This is how you see these movies typically perform, right? If it's not going to be a big blockbuster billion-dollar smash, it at least is going to be respectable enough to stand amongst those films. And what it is being slated as now is having to revitalize or it's having that put on its shoulders to try to re-energize the MCU, which is not fair to ask of an Ant-Man movie. So now we have this great villain, we have this great performance from this great new actor, and it's all kind of falling within the slop of the sliding MCU because expectations have never been higher for the MCU. See, when you were giving people favorable content on a regular basis, they built up this trust with you that turned into shillism. That's not a word, but you all understand what I mean, right? They go beyond the point of just enjoying the content. They go to defending the content, even from criticism.
Yeah. If
Hogwarts Legacy has taught you anything, that's not as trackable as you think it is. There are cases, recast T'Challa, where the vitriol online does track to dollars. I don't think that there is any way to parse through that. The splitting of the fan base around that franchise clearly set a course that was less financially viable, that was less successful financially. Here, with Hogwarts Legacy, it's something completely different. The vitriol would lead you to believe that brand is toxic and that it is dividing the fan base, and that is not a way of making the money. The $850 million that game has already made would lead you to believe otherwise, right? So it's not as easy to track as saying, oh, people hate this. People hate the way it's going right now. Abort. Or people hate this. We should be able to make a lot of money off of it. Go full steam ahead. You cannot track internet enthusiasm or response on social media platforms as easily as you think you can.
Same thing can be said in the case of Morbius, the other way.
Yeah, right. Like there's no way to track it. The things that people say online, if there's real enthusiasm behind it, if there's real meaning behind it, if there's a legitimate cause behind it, it will show in the dollars and cents. It just will. Mm-hmm. If not, then the blowhards online kind of fall to the wayside, because one thing that they ain't going to do is go out there and support with their dollars when they're supporting superficially. When you go out there and say that, oh, well, you know, we support this creative, we support that creative, we support their direction, and it doesn't show up in dollars and cents, are those the fans that you want? If you acquiesce to that part of your fan base so vehemently, so aggressively, that's the audience that you want to build up for your brand. Are they going to reciprocate it with their dollars? If the Flash does multiverse of madness numbers, just shy of $1 billion, maybe still some controversy around, you know, obviously around Ezra Miller, fam, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here?
I think Marvel can do well if they, obviously, I know we said this before, but if Secret Invasion and Loki do really good going into the Marvels, especially being that Secret Invasion kind of seems to go right into the Marvels, I think they can at least keep it going through the Marvels for 2023.
Yeah, man.
But they're going to have to hope that everything.
Side note, with the Marvels being delayed, right, to November, that's going to be the last Marvel release of 2023. What the hell happened to Blade? Blade quietly, because I hadn't seen an article on it, that's why I didn't know, slid back to September of 2024. I'm sorry, what? They announced Blade at 2019 Comic-Con.
5 years is
2019. The movie Green Book will be a classic on WGN America by the time that Blade comes out. It was up for Oscars when they first cast Mahershala. It will be a Sunday morning Ion classic.
That is crazy.
By the time this man gets on the MCU stage. That is absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Your boy Anthony Mackie, off the heels of him talking about how his humanity was his superpower, is now saying that he can't lead the Avengers.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. Fam. Yeah. Okay. I know you're not used to this position. I know you're not you're not typically the guy out in front or even up for consideration to be the guy out in front. But just a word of advice, and I've never acted a day in my life, but just a word of advice. Maybe going into this new phase where the leadership of this new franchise seems to be up for grasp, you don't go out in public and say, hey, it can't be me. Me? Oh, no. Nah, fam. How nuts is that? That the guy who's playing Captain America is saying, no, I can't be the leader.
Sam is the only character without superpowers. He's just a regular dude. That might cause an issue when you go fight somebody like Thanos.
Anthony, do you want the shot or don't you? Like, do you want the lead or not? Do you want to be Himothy or do you want to be permanently background for your entire MCU arc? Steve, Tony, Thor, even Strange to a certain degree. All of the old guard get wiped. Only for you to be there with Brie Larson and Shang-Chi and Shuri and She-Hulk, and you looking around like who gonna lead this thing? What happened to your humanity as your superpower? Like, that was cornballish, but what happened to it? At least it still gives you an angle, right? Mm-hmm. At least it gives you an angle, being the only human, and now you have to be the moral authority of the team. Go that route. Not, I'm a weakling and I can't do nothing, so I'm gonna just take orders.
I ain't got no superpowers.
What are you talking about?
Against Thanos.
It's not what being a superhero is about. It's not all about the powers. Now, let's talk about the practicality, right? He is going to be fighting with some superhero contemporaries, and they're going to have a major level threat in Kang to fight. Mm-hmm. So where does Sam Wilson play into that? Do you think that Sam has to take the super soldier serum? The series we just watched him was basically hunting down super soldiers with John Carter.
Didn't we not hear that the was that a rumor? That him taking the super soldier serum was supposed to be an arc in the movie?
I mean, it could be. I feel like if he does take it, it should be, and I think we have discussed this at one point, it should be because he has no other option. It should be because I'm not strong enough to save this person's life at this very moment, and the only way I can do it is by taking the serum.
Yeah, you said that. You said you didn't want it to be like the end of the movie.
Yeah.
You wanted it to be like a side thing.
Or to make him look weak, or, like, it should be, I'm doing this because no one else can, and I'm going to take the leap to save a life, or to save the universe, or to save the timeline, or something like that. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be, oh, well, he just couldn't get it done. He couldn't snuff it, so he snuck off and got some serum. Because that paints him as being weak. And there are ways to write human characters to not make them be weak. Like you said, Batman. I found it weird that he was so vocal about not being able to lead the team.
Yeah, very weird. Echo, Ironheart, and Agatha Coven of Chaos will be the only series that will come out in 2024. Supposedly.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Then I think I seen a rumor about Vision Quest, so I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about those shows, please. Like my level of anticipation is already low. They've been delayed once to confirm what my thoughts were coming into 2023, which tells me that they probably don't have, at this moment at least, they don't have the most crucial role in whatever we're going to be seeing for the next year and a half. So it's inconsequential to me at the moment, and they've made it that way. So I guess I'll pay attention when it actually means something.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting. This quote from Elizabeth Olsen on the future of Scarlet Witch in the MCU. Mm-hmm. If I were to tell you exactly what I would want, I think I would be spoiling something. Because Kevin Feige asks us what we want to do, and then he does it. So I don't know if I can share. I just want to come back. So Kevin Feige is just allowing the actors to dictate what happens with the characters.
I don't know. Maybe just certain actors, because I know everybody wasn't getting their way at Marvel.
Either way, it's probably another person that doesn't read the comics.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from Scarlet Witch coming back into the MCU. I'm fairly positive she's not dead. Oh. But the more that they play these games about bringing people back from life, the more upset I'm going to grow, the more uneasy I'm going to grow with some of the decisions that were made here. No reason to spend a whole bunch of time on it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But if letting Elizabeth Olsen decide where her character goes is the best thing for Wanda, then I just don't see why that wouldn't be the same for the rest of the actors who are cast. So.
Or at least some of the major characters.
Mm-hmm.
The Sam Wilsons, the Shuris.
I just can't imagine that, Chris Hemsworth wanted to turn into a dumb naked oath.
Well, he did, but then now he wants to go in a different direction.
He's like, that shit was cool for a minute, but
people are starting to hate me, so let's go in a different direction. That's all I had. Was there any other rumors that you saw at all?
I think that's it. Give us your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think everything is going on over there in the MCU? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Come back next week for another Behind the Cape segment.
Absolutely, and make sure you subscribe, because obviously we'll be talking about MCU things quite a bit. And then obviously, if you want to check here, there should be our most recent MCU rumor segment right here, so that you can watch everything we talked about last week.